almost every community that's kind of gone through listings has these same sort of debates. The I think the big issue is one, people should be free to use centralized changes if they want, even though again it's not the way I operate. Um, but usually in these conversations, like anytime you have these design compromises, like the two things I always like to like run through is at what cost and compared to what. So if people don't have the opportunity to come in, listen to these spaces and rooms and all the types of participation we do, and you don't give them something they can actually where they can crawl before they run, they never hear the message in the first place. So if you don't have those centralized exchange options, then you're gonna end up missing out on a huge percentage of people who can come in and be educated on the project. And, and then there's just some people who genuinely are willing to take trade off, right? So the level of security that I use is different depending on the amount of funds I'm holding. So if you want people to be able to participate at a small level, especially extremely small players, then right now it's not much of an issue. But when the GWA goes back up, and again, these bull run events talk about, you miss people. Like you'll have people that can physically not pay that cost, especially on something like Colt, that has to be able to function on Ethereum. Revolt will be on Polygon. It's like not that same type of fee structure around. The even like the new EIP 4444 and some of these things aren't likely to really reduce the transaction cost. And crypto adoption is going up, not down. So unless there's big changes to Ethereum and if the bull market sort of hits, kind of when a lot of us predict next year or sooner, however you want to sort of look at these things, you'll have a sizable minority of people that their bags or their ability to sort of DCA in, on a paycheck, like a huge portion that can be eaten up. So while centralized exchanges have all the obvious drops, there's a reason they're function there. There's a reason that some people have to sort of be talked up the ledge to get off of them. So, you can go all the way to one end where you're using, very advanced security like, OS and multi-sig and a lot of these things. There's just, again, you're going to have a portion of people that won't use that. So they're willing to trade off some level of security for convenience. And they'll just operate off of, you know, a traditional hardware wallet or whatever it is. And you'll have another layer of people that are willing to operate in DeFi, willing to take the risk or uneducated that won't use these security answers. And then you have one even farther that are just willing to participate in the ecosystem only at a level where they can open up an app and just quickly buy these things. So you have to sort of like realize that you have this trade-off on how people want to participate, and it's extremely difficult. It is difficult as DeFi is. If they don't come in, they don't have a reason to participate. They're never going to hear the message and stay long enough to learn all these more advanced use cases and ways to participate. So yeah, these things are difficult. And when Steve Jobs built the first Apple store, he put it in one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in Manhattan. And when they asked him why he built it there, he said, that's where the people are. So as much as centralized exchanges aren't perfect, the same way the Austin operations of Manhattan weren't perfect, that's where the majority of users still are. We just sort of have to do something that's solid now rather than something that's perfect in the future.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's just that they have a place, and that we utilized their role to I guess, support. And I think that's what that makes it quite beautiful. And everybody looks at the tokenomics, and it is really beautiful. I mean, Skywalker actually looked at the contract, and things he wrote that really kind of resonated with me was his like his masterpiece. And how really is when you drill down into it, whether it's the ideology, whether it's the contract, whether it's the tokenomics, it is so simple, yes, traders and beavers, they're sitting silently. We had a conversation in your spaces the other day where there'll be fly shock and swing traders are actually going to get ripped because more and more of that circulating supply is going to get removed out of that, and then the impact of the buys are going to be greater when that moment happens, when everything comes together. You have the big bang moment, moment. So, I really just wanted to open up this space, one, to reflect on the journey, and two, really just to communicate that was my big aha moment in recently. And I don't know whether people actually understand it. That, you're not, yes, we have, it's a bear market right now, we're down. And there's so other projects. And yeah, you might see a moon here and there, that's always going to happen. Moon to 300 million, where that, when everything else was tanking. We held during that moon crash. That shield that was for breakfast. When that happened, we did pretty well. And those that understand hope, and I think a lot of people understand it, and there's, people are holding because of hope, because they want change, and because of other factors that they know they don't actually do 1,000 X or whatever it is that you've got in your head. But I think we're doing pretty well. And as a community, I think we just band together. So, every challenge that we overcome together, we actually become stronger together. And I think there's a real beauty we do. So, I thank every one of our community members in here. Whether we disagree, whether we agree, I don't care. I'm one of those people who can say let's agree to disagree. Like, I do appreciate everyone's work in this space, and everybody, everybody in the editorial said, this is a hard project for him.